Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. As you just saw, we have a Nissan in the shop. Want to see what we're doing? Stick around, be right back. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around. As you just saw, we have a Nissan in the shop. It's a 2018 Nissan Qashqai. And we're going to put a little tiny bit of bass in the back and replace the front door speakers. For the front door speakers, we have some Kicker car audio. They're 6.5-inch two-ways. The DSC 650. For the little bit of bass we're going to put, customer has supplied a pile powered system and an amp wire kit. Normally I don't like using the Scotch gear, but because this is a smaller system, it's gonna work. So we have the amp built right in. It says max power of 2x400. So this will be 400 when it's done. 400 watts, 200 RMS to each speaker. And it's an all-enclosed little system. It will fit in the back of the car nice. As for how it's going to sound, we shall find out shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to get taken apart a door and start changing out some speakers. So stick around. Here we go. Alright, so here we are at the door. We got to start getting this taken apart. We're going to start with this panel right here. And just kind of go along with our panel tool and just kind of work our way along it, releasing the tabs that are on the inside. And it will eventually pop out of there. Keep a little pressure on where it's already popped out. As you keep going around, I'm saying a little bit, not a lot. Last thing you want to do is break it. And there we have. That's off, ready to go. And then we have this hand grip, this little decorative cover here. That has to come off too. And it comes off quite easily. For your electrical connector on the back, for your power mirrors if you have them. Then it reveals 3 10mm bolts. Keep note, you will notice you have 2 short ones and 1 long one. The long one goes in the top, the 2 short ones go in the bottom of the handle. And now you can take your handle out. And that will allow you to take out your window switch panel. Which again, carefully work your way around it with your panel tool. Get to the back side with your electrical connectors. Undo those, and that reveals another 10mm bolt in here, which I'll be right back. I just got to go get an extension for that one, and we'll continue on. There. Now we just pulled out that one, It's another long screw. So we'll put that somewhere where it's safe. And now it's time to start working our way around to take off the panel. It comes off with a bunch of clips. And there is one right there that holds this panel to the door handle. And then you just lift it up and take it off. Set it to the side somewhere safe. And then that shows us our nice, beautiful, high quality two-way speaker. Actually, dual cone. Can't even call it a two-way. So then we just pop it out with the 3 10mm bolts to hold it in place. And it comes right out just like that. Nice, wonderful, high quality plastic. But you will notice it is a 2 ohm system, or 2 ohm speaker on this one, but there's also the one up in the dash, so that would bring it up to the 4 ohm load. So we're going to get our mount ready for using in this one. My supplier didn't have the exact one, so I've got the Metra 82-UNIV65. It's a universal 6.5-inch speaker mount, and I've just got to figure out what tabs I need to be able to mount everything, break off the rest, and we'll have the mount that we need for hooking up this speaker in this car. So while I do that, I'm not going to bore you to death by sitting there watching me move this around. So I'm going to figure it out. And in the meantime, go hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think. Here we go. Alright, so I've just finished playing a game of spin the adapter on the door. And we have come up with 3 mounts that work. So now, we're going to throw some foam down on the back side of this adapter. Try and eliminate any possibility of any rattles, weird noises, or anything like that. And there we have it. See, it's got the foam on the back, so now there won't be any plastic on metal rattling. Or at least that's the hopeful plan. And now the real question, will the speakers fit? Just like that. Perfect. I've already gone and put some foam on the back side of the speaker as well. That way there's no rattling of the speaker on the plastic. And it helps seal it in a little bit better. So now I'm going to tighten these down. And we'll be back with some wiring for this. And get this side done. So stick around. Alright, so here we are. I'm going to show you one way that you could test for the polarity of the speakers. As you can see, there's no indication positive or negative on it. So I'm going to take my speaker tester, hook it up, and do the test. It's popping outwards. So I got lucky, first try. It tells me that where I have the wires hooked up, it is correct. So this one here will be our positive wire. And when we hook up the speaker connector, that shows that our blue wire is positive and the brown wire is going to be a negative wire. So I'm just going to cut some of this factory Tessa tape back. Try not to slice my hand open at the same time. Last thing I want to do is have to go to the hospital to have 20 stitches because I cut myself. In this particular case, all I'm doing is I'm going to peel this tape back and I'm going to tie into the wire itself, leaving the factory connector on there. That way, if they decide that in 2, 3, 4 years, whatever, they decide to say, hey, I want to trade this car in, they can put the factory back in, plug that right back in. It's just like the factory. So strip a little bit of this wire back. Now this car does not have a factory amp to it. Usually they're under the passenger side front seat, and I've got nothing there. So it's just a basic system. And as you can see, I've already run this wire, which, as you can tell, I've already wrapped it with some Tessa tape. Got it going in behind the door panel up to an opening here, and then it comes right across, and it's going to tie right in with this. And then I'm going to solder these wires, tape it up to this harness here so it's out of the way, not flopping around, going like that the whole way down the road. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go solder that, and I'll show you the end result. And there we have it. As you can see, I got this speaker wire all mounted here, goes right up inside here, and ducks down in behind. That's all securely mounted. 4 screws in each corner. So now we're ready to put everything back together and move on to the driver's door. In the meantime, it does have a lot better highs than the factory. So I've already showed you how to take the door apart. I'm trusting that you know how to put the door back together. So we'll see you on the passenger side. Alright, so here we are on the passenger side. I didn't bother showing how to take the whole thing apart because we just did that for the driver's side. The only thing really different, you've only got one electrical connector on the window switch instead of 2. And other than that, everything's still the same. You have your 3 little screws for your speaker, which is again a real high quality dual cone piece of plastic. You have your door panel screws, the two small ones. Remember, they go in the lower half of the door handle, and you have the two longer ones that go in the other two holes. And other than that, now it's just a matter of figuring out which one of these is positive and negative. Get the new speaker hooked up and go from there. And just like last time, we have our speaker tester. Put it in, and the speaker goes out. You can do the same thing with a 9-volt battery. It's just this is more convenient. So this one here is our positive, and when we hook it up into here, it shows that green is our positive, red is our negative. So I'm going to go get some speaker wire, get that hooked up, run the wires, get the speaker in there, and stick around for the journey. And if you don't want to watch, go hit that subscribe button, and by the time you're done that, we'll be on to something different. So here we go. Alright, so here we are. As you can see, I've got the wiring all tucked up here nicely. It comes out. I gave myself a decent little bit of wire to come out here, so I don't have to try and squeeze my hands in there. And again, it went up in behind, connected up to some wiring, and then up and around. So that's all good to go. So now all I got to do is go over, get the speaker. I'm going to put some foam on the back side of it, like I did with the adapter ring, so that way there's no rattles. It fits snugly in there and makes it nice and airtight. So we'll be right back. I'm going to go get the speaker, put some foam on her, plug it in, and see what she sounds like. There, and as you can see, they're all mounted. One thing I am going to do still is, if you notice, the factory, it's a little bit deeper than what that is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little strip of foam around the outside of the speaker here, which will help set this speaker to the back of the door panel, just like the factory had here with their little lip on the edge of the speaker. But you can see I've got that's all out of the way. Looks nice and clean. Kind of wish I had the different speaker adapters, but they weren't in stock and they were back ordered. So these ones here, they do work. They're just meant for multiple vehicles. So I just had to do some trimming to get the right mounts. But overall, they sound much better. Now before you put everything back together, I do suggest sit there, listen to it for a minute, move the music from one speaker to the other, make sure there's no loss of bass when you go from the right side to the middle to the left side. Make sure it sounds the same. If it doesn't, if you got more bass with it on one side than when you do in center, you might want to check the wiring in your speakers, make sure they're properly wired, because you don't want any difference in sound. You want to actually improve with both speakers. So I'm going to put some foam on these ones, put the door panel back on, and do a final test on it. And then we got those little pile subs to put in. So stick around, we'll get started on it. Alright, so we have the doors done for this Nissan. Now we're going to start working on the amp wiring for it, and we're going to run the power wire. Now, I'm not sure what options will change how this wire is run. This one here, it's just a kind of a basic Qashqai. It's 2018. So what I've done is you have a big old massive plastic air duct right there that goes over top of the battery. Then you have the air filter housing box. That goes here in this big opening right there. Now it is an absolute pain to take out. I had to loosen this computer off, move it to the side. I got to replace this zip tie because I ended up cutting that one for this wire harness. However, it did get me down to a grommet that's down there. And you can see that one right back there. And that is where we're going to run our power wire. Going to run it along this channel down here, up and around, and go from there. So that's what we're going to go do, and then show you where it goes on the inside and continue running the wire. See if you can't get this thing doing something here real soon. So stick around and see what I do. Alright, so we just finished up getting the power wire through the firewall. You can see it there. The black split loom comes around, goes up, and it's going to come out right over here, keeping it nice and neat. There wasn't too many spots that I could make a factory mount for, or make it look like a factory mount, just because you have that cover that goes over the battery and everything. So I've just put in a spot that's relatively easy to get to, secured, and I don't have to worry about it getting damaged. So I'm going to see if I can't put that air filter housing back in, put everything back together, and we'll get to the inside the car and finish running this wire and show you what we do. So stick around. Alright, so we wrestled this back in place. Still got to tighten her down a couple spots, but let's show you where we have the fuse. Like I said, it's a little tight fit. It's down there. It is able to be reached. It does take a little effort, but again, like I said, you have a big cover that goes over the battery. This here for our power wire is going to come around and go straight off one of these two terminals, and then go from there. And I know some of you guys are probably going to say, "Oh, you can't have it coming off of there." Don't know if you can really see it that well, but they're engraved on the plastic. It says 450 amp. So I think that can spare about 30 amps of current for this system. It's I don't see it being much more. So I'm going to finish putting the battery cover back on and finish running the power wire. So stick around, I'll show you how we got that going inside the car. Alright guys, we've got the power wire run as you saw already. I got it run down along all the footings. Goes up in through that door sill and works its way into the back to go hooked up to the amplifier. Now we're using the high level inputs on it, so I'm going to the back of the radio to get my speaker outputs there. So what I've done is the bottom trim here, that pops out. There's only 4 clips. This here next to the steering wheel, a couple good gentle pulls, that comes off, and it shows that there's a Phillips head screw right here. There's 2 at the bottom, and then this trim here, I've got to take that off, and there will be another Phillips head screw there, and then we can take the radio out and connect some speed wire to the outputs and get it sent back to the amp back there. So I'm going to go get a trim removal tool, take off that trim, pull out the radio, and I'll show you what we get. Alright, so here we are. As you can see, I got the radio out, and we have our wiring connected up to our speed wire. We have, I'm not gonna say what all vehicles this goes for, it just happens to be the one for this. I have pin 2 and 3 which is the yellow and the red wire. The yellow one is pin 2, that is the positive. The red, pin 3, that's a negative. And then right across from it, on the other side, we have a white and a gray wire, which pin number 11 is the positive, which is the white wire, and the gray wire is negative. And then I found that this blue, or this gray with blue, is an accessory. It's a switched power, which we're going to use the remote on wire right here for that to go back to our amp in the back using the speed wire, and we should be able to have something going here real shortly. So let's find out. Stick around and let's see. Alright, this was a quick finish to this video, but we are done. I'll show you what it looks like in the back. That speed wire sure makes things nice. You can see the connectors back there. Everything even comes with little lights. It's not bad. Definitely adds a little something to the bottom end of this. And then you can see the factory battery cover. Everything still fits just like the factory. Now I just got to put that thing back on over that, hide it, and make a little bracket to hold that box from moving, and I can kick this out the door and be done. So stick around for a minute, give you a full overview, and we'll be done. And with that, everyone, we are done. This Qashqai is finished, done, ready to go. You saw how we put the kicker speakers in the front door. You saw how we put that pile dual 8-inch sub box in the back. It's not bad. It does give some bottom end. Maybe it's a fact I haven't really listened to a whole lot of loud stereos lately, but it works. It gives a little bit of, gives some decent bass. I did learn a couple things about this car, and one of them, it doesn't like it when you have all the doors open and you try and start the car. The safety sense shield thing on it decides to say, hey, we got an issue. So keep that in mind. If you're doing a job on this, you have your doors open, your hood open, your trunk open, you start the car to check something, and the safety shield warning light comes on, just close your doors. But so yeah, if you like this video, if you want to see more of them, hit that subscribe button, click like, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the install, anything I could do that would be better or worse, the same, and stick around for the next one. I'm gonna have I got a Chev Cruise coming up here shortly for a stereo, and I have some Harley parts that I'm gonna almost be done, so I'll have a video for them up here shortly too. So like I said, hit that subscribe button and stick around for the next one. Till then, stay warm, keep it loud.